Welcome to the Team Butterfly Effect All Hands Call. I am Aubrey Warren, your fearless leader, and it is November the 1st, 2016. We're the day after Halloween. We are officially into the holiday season. And if you haven't had a chance to check quick breaking news yet today, FYI, all of our most popular programs are pretty much still on. Well, okay, let me take that back. I think it's the 21-Day Fix, the 21-Day Fix Extreme, PiYo, and Country Heat, and the Club Challenge Pack. They're all on sale right now, and Quarter Force. Excuse me. However, I do not believe that the Portion Fix containers are coming with the club membership this month anymore. So I was doing my research this afternoon trying to figure that out. It looks like Country Heat is still coming with the Portion Fix, but it doesn't look like the club membership is right now. If I find out otherwise, I'll post it in the team page just so you guys can know. However, tonight I'm going to be talking to you guys about your mindset and having a game plan, because we're in fourth quarter, and if you haven't felt it yet, right, this is normally the time from about definitely October through November are usually the slow times in the fitness season. If you went to a gym, you go and you see that the gym is dead this time of year. And it's just a typical part of the fitness industry. And let's be real, if you don't have a plan, this can really mess with your head. Because when you're putting in all the hours and you're putting in all the effort, and if you're still not getting the results that you were hoping for in regards to your business is concerned, it can start to mess with your head. And am I doing the right behaviors? Am I even supposed to be doing this? Am I cut out for this? You can start asking those not serving questions of yourself during these tough times of year if you don't have your mind in the right place. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, is having mindset and game plan. So the first thing I have to remind you and myself, during this time of year, especially, the months right around the holidays, I always dig in a little bit deeper into personal development than I do any other time of the year. Primarily because I know that this time of the year is slow, and no matter how much I rationalize it in my head, it's hard to not let it mess with your head, right? And so in order to overcome that, I always up my personal development during this time of the year just to make sure I have like an overabundance of positivity flowing through my brain. So as those little gremlins in the back of your mind start to bring up self-doubt, you have a higher arsenal of positivity to help dull the fire. And so tonight we're going to be, I want to ask you, as we start getting more and more objections, I want you to ask yourself these following questions. So am I filling my mind? Am I doing my personal development? And if I am doing my personal development, I want to ask you, what type of personal development are you doing? Are you doing the type of personal development that's going to serve wherever you are right now? And if you're not a person who if your mind doesn't start messing with you around this time of year, then, and you're doing leadership personal development or whatever, stay the course. However, I'm going to tell you, like during this time of year, I seem to always need to listen to some Brene Brown, something like that, something where it's, like the gifts of imperfection and so on, just to keep myself remembering that there's nothing wrong with me. Just if I'm not getting the normal results I'm used to getting, just to keep that mind flowing. And I also want you to ask yourself, do I believe in the value of the stuff that I am promoting and representing? I ask you to ask that to yourself if you believe in it, because are the excuses that you're hearing, are they acceptable excuses for you? So I ask you to really sit back and contemplate that. What excuses have you been, or what objections have you been getting from people lately? you know, not enough time or not enough money or whatever. And so often I've been hearing a lot from people that they've been getting the money objection a lot. And I was doing a brainstorm with some of the other leaders in the organization earlier today, and Kayla brought up a really good point where she was saying, you know, it's rarely ever about money. People say it's about money, but it's rarely ever about money, because if you ever notice, generally speaking, when someone really needs money for something, unless they're like getting evicted out of their house or something like that, but when someone really needs something, they usually can make it happen. Why? Because we sacrifice in other areas in order to make it happen, right? So sometimes people will just like, and I'll never forget when I didn't think that I could afford to put Nija in Taekwondo lessons when he was like 4 years old, 5 years old. Like, I didn't think I could afford it. I didn't think I could afford it. And then I stopped and I contemplated the amount of bottles of wine that I was buying per week at Costco. Literally, I did this. Figured out how many bottles of wine I was buying per week at Costco. And I sat down and I figured, how many bottles of wine would I have to sacrifice a month to be able to put my son in Taekwondo lessons? I know that sounds sad. I like wine, okay? I know that sounds sad, but I was able to put my son in Taekwondo lessons because it meant enough to me that I was able to live on 1 bottle of wine a week instead of 4, okay? So yeah, it's sad. I was drinking 4 bottles of wine a week, but you know, let's put it into perspective. You know, if something is really important to you, then you're able to make some shifts of some things. So what I want to know is, do you ever, well, my other question is asking yourself the value that you're putting out there with people. Like, are you being intentional every day with the value? Not, you know, we're not just sharing what you're doing, but offering a lot of value. And I was talking to my success partner today, and she was telling me that a statement that was made at her Super Sunday this weekend was that you do not deserve to earn a paycheck if you're not adding value to people's lives. So I'm going to say that again. You do not deserve to earn a paycheck unless you're adding value to people's lives. So on a daily basis, do you feel like you're putting energy into the universe, into the ethers, into Facebook, wherever you are, that would cause someone to want to pay you for the value that they can bring into your life? So that question, I'm not saying that any of you are doing anything wrong. I'm just saying that question causes us to stop and ask ourselves truly, as far as what we're expecting versus what we're putting out. Is it equal? So just asking ourselves, doing these simple evaluations with ourselves. But then lastly, in regards to mindset, I'm going to share with you something that I used to do early in my coaching career. You ever find yourself doing this? Apologizing for helping people? You ever do that? Like, you say, like, have you ever thought of, you know, I do this program, it's called Country Heat, or it's called PIO, and it's supposed to be really fixed, and, you know, it's really it's been helping me, and it might help you too, and it has these portion control containers, and, you know, it makes nutrition really easy, and, you know, and we have Shakeology, and it helps with your results, but if you don't like it, there's a 100% money back guarantee, and you can get all your money back, and you know, there's no contract, and don't worry, it says auto ship on there, but you don't have to get it next month if you don't want it. And I know it looks expensive, but it's done really great things for my body, and I think you might like it too. Versus the sound of, you told me that you had X, Y, and Z goals, and this is a program that I really think can help you. And if it doesn't give you the results that you're looking for, you're going to get a guarantee. Did you just notice like the two different energies in the way I just presented that. I know one sounded really flaky and the other one kind of just sounded to the point. I think there's a lot of times, for whatever reason, I think whenever I first started as a coach, I was kind of hung up on this just being network marketing. Like to me, it was almost like network marketing was a dirty word. And so I always felt like in the back of my mind, I was almost apologizing for asking somebody to buy something from me. And it was really because I was so new into coaching that I hadn't had my own transformation. And so therefore, in the pit of my being, I didn't fully believe in the products that I was selling. And so therefore, there was always this undercurrent of self-doubt that I had. So I ask you, do you have any sort of doubt, whether it be about the price? Like I can tell people now it's $130 and not blink. I remember that used to be really scary for me to tell people that, oh my gosh, are they going to object about the price? So there's a big difference when you present our program to people is when you are unapologetic about the price because you believe in the value versus you being a little bit hesitant to tell them how much it costs because I'm not really sure if they're going to want to pay that much. Okay, so it's asking yourself, what energy are you putting behind your pitch? What energy are you putting behind sharing with people as far as how you can help them? So I ask you to ask all of those things. Really, where is your mindset? Because you don't get what you want, you get what you are, okay? And so the more you believe, the more you have confidence in what you have to share, the more authentic that's going to be coming out. However, you also have to have a game plan. So we use our social media page as a place to breadcrumb our story. Okay, so all of our posts are like little breadcrumbs, leaving trails along the way in order for people to really know our story. Because it's not about like people don't want to blog on your Facebook page. People just want little breadcrumbs to hear about your story. But you don't want to count on your page alone to seal the deal, especially during this time of year, especially the way Facebook algorithms have recently changed. You need to spend time private messaging people. And if you're not private messaging people, don't expect people to jump. Don't expect people to buy. Posting is just a small percentage of what we do. If you have a choice to private message people or post in the day, you should private message people because those are the things that are going to be more worth your time than just posting about what you're doing. People care more about a private message to them than they do about just taking time out of their day to go read about what you're doing. Okay? And also, this is just something to consider. Remember when you're talking to people that Beachbody might not always be the answer for them. So that's why it's important to really take the time to listen to people right now. And I know that it's so easy to think that we've heard all the stories, and then it's so easy to assume, oh, I've heard this before. I know exactly what she needs or he needs. But for some people, what we do is a little too extreme to get started. Some people just need to start walking. Some people need to just drink one less Diet Coke a day. And that's a huge step in the right direction. So I really, really feel that's why our free groups are so vital, because so many people right now, with network marketing being the jam, so many people are out there selling shit that a lot of people have their defenses up and their guards up. So the free groups are so imperative in order to build relationships with people, in order to have a place to help people on a monthly basis, even if they can't afford to pay you. So I used to give people on a limit to like 2 times, right? That they could only do my free groups 2 times and they had to purchase something. But then I realized that there were truly people who couldn't afford my help, that was my means of helping them monthly. And you know what I found? Because as we were talking about at the beginning, that money usually isn't the main issue. What I found is if I help people enough free for multiple months in a row, that somehow magically, a couple months down the road, they end up having enough money. And I think a lot of it, Gary Vaynerchuk always says that if you give people enough value, you can usually make them feel guilty enough to spend money with you, right? It's like you've helped them so much and you give them so much value. At some point in time, they feel like they owe you something. And you want to be able to give in that way. Here's a tip though. Here's a trick of whether you know those are the right people. Meaning if it's authentic and if there's integrity behind it. So this is my trick. There is a statistic that only 2% of our country owns a library card, which is unreal, right? Only like library cards are generally free to the public, but only about 2% of our population own a library card. But as we all know, via personal development, books are one of the best ways to change your life and one of the fast ways to change your life. So what I started doing, and it has worked quite well for me, is in order to know who I'm going to continue helping for free and who I'm not, is when people keep coming back and asking for free help, I'll ask them eventually, I'll say, do you have a library card? And if they say yes, I'll recommend some personal development books. Say, I can tell you're having a really hard time right now in your life. Did you know books are one of the best way to shift things, whether it's audio or reading? Almost all of the people that I coach, I encourage them to do, or all the people that I coach, I encourage them to do personal development. So how about you start there? If you can't purchase a program from me right now, how about we just start with some personal development? So I'm going to assign you some books to go check out from the library and read and report back once you've got them and start there. Guys, if people aren't willing to do that, how serious do you think they're really about making big changes in their life, like cutting out, like reducing sugar, or all of those major addiction things that are in our food? If they don't value your help enough to go get a book that you suggested that they get, they're probably not one of those people who are going to follow through. It's kind of a test that I do. So if you say, go get this book, and they're like on it, those are the people you want to invest a lot of time and energy helping, even for free, because they're taking it, they're running with it, they're using it. And guess what that means? That means they're coachable. That means that there's someone who will actually take what the offering that you have and they'll run with it if they have the means. But if they don't have the mental capacity to at least start helping themselves through just reading a simple book, that shows a lot about their character. And their character is going to be ultimately determinant whether they follow through on their wellness plan in the first place anyway. And if they're not going to follow through on the plan, then they're not the type of person they're going to get the results. So you see the point I'm trying to make. Okay, so and the last thing before we get to the game plan, we're going to spend our last 5 minutes really outlining the game plan, just in case you don't have one. Last question I have for you to ask yourself as times are slow: are you adding to your social network every day? Are you talking to the same 50 to 100 people every month? Inviting the same people to your free groups every month, and then wondering why you don't have anybody to help? So always adding to your social network. So how do I add to my social network? I often go to people's Facebook pages who I really admire, okay? Why do I go to people's pages that I admire? Because if I admire them, they probably have good friends. So I go to their pages and I look at their friends, and I look to find the people who we have the most amount of mutual friends. And if we have at least 10 mutual friends, or even 5 mutual friends, I'll pick a couple people that day and I'll send them a friend request. And as soon as they accept my friend request, then I'll send them a message. Hey girl, hey buddy, thanks so much for accepting my friend request. Facebook suggested we be friends because the amount of friends we have in common. I'd love to know you better. What's your story? And you just start a relationship. You start building a relationship. Okay, so let's go into our social media game plan. And if you have something, if you don't have anything else to take notes, please grab something very quick. And this is an outline based on the idea of the book by Gary Vaynerchuk, Jab, Jab, Right Hook. So it's the idea that every day that you're on social media, you're doing jabs, jabs, jabs. So in boxing, it's that right hook that's going to get you the knockout. It's going to get you that final. I don't watch boxing, so I'm not going to try to give you info, whatever. It's that last hit that gets them down for the count, right? So all of your posts are just little jabs, and you should never do a right hook unless you've been doing jabs. So let me give you a quick outline of how I break down my jabs and my right hooks during the week. And if you do nothing else, this will give you a plan, okay? So we're gonna start our week technically on Tuesday, just because this just makes the most sense for me to explain it in regards to jabs, okay? So if you wanna write out Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, or Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, starting right there, but we're gonna start writing on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, obviously guys, I want you to always make one post a day about either nutrition or your workout, at least one, right? At least one thing from your personal development daily, so people know that you're a person of growth, someone who is uplifting and inspiring, someone they want to be a part of that. But opposed to those other 2 posts a day, here's your plan for the other days. On Tuesday, I want you to post a hashtag Transformation Tuesday post, and that's a jab. And it's not salesy. It's about something about how Beachbody's changed your life, showing how your proof the product works. But you're not asking people to join you. You're not asking people to do it with you. You're just sharing your experience, okay? Usually in the hashtags, I'll put like, why not you, or the butterfly effect, or something like that in there, just so people can tell it's all related and it's going together, but that's the jab. Now here's the trick then. You take all the likes and all the comments from that post, and on Wednesday, you are going to personal message all of those people. And they're going to be, thank you so much for liking my Transformation Tuesday post yesterday. It feels so good to know that this is what I say. So you're not going to want to say this. I talk in hippie language. So say, whenever I'm intentionally trying to put good vibes out there, it always feels good to know they're coming back. How have you been? And that's it. That's all I say in that follow-up post on Wednesday. That's all I post. And on Wednesday, now you can do whatever you want through the day, but I like to do what you eat on Wednesday. Because what you eat on Wednesday, I ask a question. I share something about nutrition, and I ask a question, what are you eating? So it gets people to engage with you, okay? You want to ask engaging questions, okay? On Thursday, you're going to do a hashtag Throwback Thursday, but this is also going to be one of your jabs. Here's the trick, guys. This is a breadcrumb. This is a breadcrumb. This is one little snippet of your life. It's not a big story. It's like looking at a page from a scrapbook and seeing a little part of your story. And again, you're going to do the same thing on Friday as you did on Wednesday. You're going to message all of the people who liked your hashtag or Throwback Thursday post, and you're going to message all of them, and you're going to thank them for liking it and ask them how they've been, because it opens the door for communication, right? As you're chatting with people, it makes inviting them into a challenge group so much easier because it's not cold. You've been conversating with that person. You know what's going on in their life. So that's what you do on Friday. And I'm going to tell you, so on Friday, guys, people like it light on Friday. People don't like anything. Sometimes we do Flex Friday, right? You could do a hashtag Flex Friday and get other people to show their guns. But Fridays aren't quite as serious. Fridays and Saturdays are probably the most social and the most light on Fridays and Saturdays. Saturdays, you want to showcase how you're enjoying life, how you're social in life. You're showing how you're so physically fit is honoring your lifestyle, right? Do you go out and play baseball? Do you hike? Do you do stuff with the dogs on the weekends? Whatever, to show how your healthy lifestyle is supporting your lifestyle. And then on Sunday and Monday are when the right hooks come in. So why Sunday and Monday? Those are your call to action posts. And everybody has different opinions of whether on Sunday you do a business post, or on Monday maybe you do a challenge group post. I go back and forth. I know some elite coaches have said that they like to do their business opportunity posts on Sundays because people who are going back to work were sitting there contemplating on Sunday night, oh, I don't want to go back to work. I wish I was still able to just hang out at home. But then other elite coaches say that some people are feeling guilty about how horrible they ate over the weekend, and so that's when it's time to post about a challenge group. But whether you post about your next upcoming challenge group or invite people to join your team, whichever one you're doing, that is a right hook. So that is where you come straight at and you ask, I'm looking for 5 to 10 people to join me on this. I only want you to ask those 2 days of the week. Those are the only 2 days I want you to post publicly and get those right hooks. Because if you do that more than just those 2 days of the week, people are going to start thinking you're that shape lady. You're that person who's just trying to sell shit on their page. And they're going to stop looking at you as that person of value who they want to come to and follow because they enjoy. And they're going to start feeling ulterior motives. So if you have a plan during the week, just to simply breadcrumb and share your story, and then ask on those other days, then it's going to be a little bit more effective. However, this is the thing I need for you to know more than anything, and that's consistency is key. It's not just doing this plan, the social media plan, every once in a while. It's not just doing it on the weeks when it's easy and the most convenient. It's showing up. It's showing up. It's showing up. You can't say that this plan isn't working for me if you're not doing it consistently. Just like if someone buys Insanity or P90X or the 21-day fix, and they come to you and they say, I'm sorry, I didn't get results from this program. It didn't work. And you say, how many times did you push play out of the 21 days? They said, I did 5 of the workout. Hello? That's the reason why it didn't work for you, is because you were only doing it a couple days out of the week. The only difference between me and you guys is time and consistency. And I've noticed a dramatic change in my business that started showing up every day. And it's not just about doing the posts. It started since I've been doing the personal messages every day, because that's when people start to see your stuff. Because when you're personal messaging them behind the scenes, did you know when you personal message someone, it boosts your algorithm where they see your stuff more, even if you're personally messaging them. So be consistent, have a plan, show up, and do your personal development. And know more than anything, this business works about 60 days in the rear, 60 to 90 days in the rear. So the effort that you're pulling in right now is going to be what you have to harvest come January and February. So I honor each and every one of you who are showing up live right now. I honor each and every one of you who watched this video recorded, because I know you are going to be the ones that people go to and ask for help when it comes to changing the calendar year, because you've been consistent and you've been showing up. Who wants a coach who bails during the holidays? I don't. I definitely don't, because that's when I need my coach the most, is when I'm stressed out. That's when I need my coach the most. I don't need them to bail when times get tough. So practice being and showing up. Do your best and forget the rest. I believe in you. I know your heart's in the right place. So keep doing what you're doing. You're making a difference, whether or not you see it or not. I do. I believe in you. Have a great night. Peace, love, and fairy dust, my friend. See you next week. And I put a message out to my friend Susie, who's like a financial expert. We had an idea and a brainstorm today about maybe getting some help with helping people build a financial plan. So I put out some a question to one of my financial experts to see if maybe she could come in and help us a little bit, maybe overcoming objections and helping people with their money a little bit more. So know that that's hopefully in the works sometime soon. Okay, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next week on Monday instead of Tuesday.